Supply and demand trading systems are built on the principles of supply and demand economics, which states that for any commodity or asset, its price is based on the balance of its supply and demand. Now, when it comes to automated trading systems, we can actually take technical analysis and build our own supply and demand balances and make trades based off of that. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how supply and demand trading systems work. We're going to build our own and we're going to test it on multiple different markets. Now, if you stick to the end of the video, I'm going to be giving away source code for your own automated supply and demand trading system for free. You just got to stick to the end of the video. Before we get started, hi, my name is Jacob Amaral. I build and code automated trading systems that trade my own capital. If you want to work with me, see the links in the description below. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here's how the system works. So once again, supply and demand. So demand is these green zones and supply is these purple zones, okay? So our trading system auto calculates these zones and it looks for kind of downswings and upswings where we have a bunch of lower bars or new higher highs being made, okay? And it will actually draw those zones based on the price action. So let's give you an example here. Right here, we have an active supply zone. You can see it's a little bit greener than the others, meaning it's the most recent one. And what's happened here is we've had a new low, right? A new low has hit in the last 3 bars. And we're actually going to apply that as a demand zone. I don't know if I said supply. This is a green is demand zone and the purple is a supply zone. So it's a new demand zone and it's going to draw it from I'll zoom in a bit for you guys. It's going to draw it from the low of that candle up until the open, okay? So that's our demand range, okay? So anytime we hit that range, we're going to submit a limit order to enter a trade, okay? Now, we only submit limit orders if we're outside of that range. So you can see it didn't enter any trades here because once it pops above, that's when our limit order is sent. We want it to come back and touch again, okay? If I scroll to the right here, we should see it. I believe it enters, yep. So it has a hanging limit order here and actually enters on that nice bottom look at that candle. And that turned out to be a profitable trade, okay? And then on the other side, we also have supply zones where we're going to go short. Let's see if I can find a trade here. There's not as many because in this scenario, for most instruments or assets that are going up in value, you're going to have a lot more demand zones to buy and less supply zones. So you'll notice that you'll have a lot more long trades than short trades. And let's see if we can find one here. Did this take any short trades at all? Yeah, it did. It only took 12 though. Which is, in an ideal world, you kind of want equal long trades and short trades to, make money in both directions in both markets, but it's not always the case. And, okay, so we're looking at British pound futures here, by the way. I guess here's a short trade where we hit a supply zone and it goes short, touched above it. Yeah, it was made right here, okay. So this is also known as support and resistance. I'm sure a lot of you guys, a lot of traders that are watching this video know about support and resistance. So I'd say it's just another word for it. We're calculating supply and demand based on higher highs and lower lows, especially with wicks. If there's a wick in a candle, that kind of range is going to be that supply zone or demand zone. We're going to see a reversal. Before I continue, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Ninjacators. Ninjacators is the author of this indicator. So they gave a free supply and demand zone indicator. And I took that code and kind of simplified it a little bit. So I just wanted to be honest with you guys. A lot of this code is not mine. I kind of edited it. Ninjacators is the actual author of this original indicator. Has a lot more features and it's a bit complex, a bit overwhelming. So that's why I simplified it a little bit and turned it into a trading system. But just wanted to give a shout out to them and definitely check them out for this indicator. And obviously it only works on the NinjaTrader platform. So that's kind of the initial test. We can look at some of the code briefly. So here's the source code for it. And the main portion is that we have area classes, and these area classes help with determining the area, the actual supply and demand zone. So we have a couple functions to calculate them. We check if we're in a downswing or an upswing. Okay, is there three higher bars, three lower low bars, and save those as values. And then we have a bunch of functions to check if it's a supply zone, demand zone, and update the area. Okay, so updating the area will set the active zone, and check supply and check demand will actually calculate the zone, how high it should be, and its positioning on the chart. We then calculate the buy prices by the active zone. So we'll loop through all the list of zone area objects. If it's not active, then we're just going to continue and not execute the code. But if we do find a demand zone area and a supply zone, we're going to save that price for the area's highs and lows, and that price is going to be used later for our limit orders. Okay, so all of these trades are using limit orders to enter. Limit orders help with reducing slippage, but the problem is you don't always get filled. So when you're backtesting, it's important to take that into account and to not assume that you're going to get filled if the price reaches your limit order. You should only assume you're getting filled if it goes below or passes it, essentially. But having limit orders helps reduce slippage and helps keep the trading system a little bit simple when it comes to hitting those zones. Because sometimes you'll have a wick candle, right? And if you use the market order, you might get a lot more slippage and not the entry that you're looking for. So a limit order helps a lot with that. We have a couple more functions for checking the time of the day. That's how we do the upswings. We check the last three lows. So the current low versus the last low, the second last low, third last low, and so forth. Anyways, I'll be giving away the source code if you've stayed to the end of the video, if you want to check it out more. If you want to use the more advanced version, definitely check out Ninjacators. They have they give out a free indicator. I think all you have to put in is your email, and they'll give it to you. But that's source code, sorry. Okay, so the next step was trying this on different markets and seeing if we can find some edge. Okay, so on the right here on my platform, this is NinjaTrader, which is the platform I use to backtest and to run my automated trading systems. We have a couple parameters here. We have stop loss on ticks, profit target in ticks, start time, end time, trade long, trade short. So I've just done a backtest year to date. We could do a lot more time and optimize it and walk forward optimize it, but I don't think that's the scope for this video. But I did want to try it on a different couple instruments and different time frames. So and with this initial setup of 200 profit target in ticks and 160, we do see that gold actually did okay, pretty well. 12,000 in profit on one contract over the year and a half. Not too bad. FDAX was in second. Don't like this equity curve that much, so I wouldn't pass that. Now, if we try this on, that's 30-minute bars, we could do 15-minute. Okay, on 15-minute bars, we see FDAX do a lot better. Makes 34,000 in net profit. Not too shabby. Equity curve's all right, but you can see a lot of them are red, and you're gonna have to play around with the different time frames. We'll try 10 and then 5-minute as well. Ten-minute, same thing, nothing too spectacular. FDAX once again does pretty good. Go down to 5-minute. YM does the best at 8,000 on one contract. That's Dow Jones futures. So that's cool. Let's try, we're going to switch this to optimization. Now, a huge caution if you're optimizing strategies. Optimization, you should only be used in your initial kind of, test to see, all right, is there some alpha in this time frame? You would never optimize for more than 2 years. And in that case, you'd use a walk forward optimization. I'm just going to run this optimization to find some decent combinations for the futures, but I'm not going to change my start and end date. And that's because we want to use some out of sample data. Okay, so I'll run optimization. Let's optimize our stop loss ticks. We'll do maybe 20 to 200, increment by 20. And then the profit target we'll try from 20 to 200, increment by 20. I want to run this for every single futures instrument. Not every single one, but at least the default ones in NinjaTrader. Just let that run. All right, so the optimization results have finished. I tried 3 different time frames. I tried day bars, 4-hour bars, and 10-minute bars. So on day bars, we had okay results combined. We had about 44,000 in net profit, although I would never use net profit as a metric. What I'd be looking for is the amount of trades that's being made and the return to drawdown. So the best performer in terms of net profit was gold. Did 9,000 in net profit, including slippage and commissions. Did have a max drawdown of 6,000, so it only made 3,000 more than its max drawdown, which isn't that great. And it only made 31 trades for that year and a half. So not that many trades. We're looking at 0.9 to 1 trade a month. Not that great. The next best one was the Russell RTY futures. It made a little bit less profit, but also the max drawdown went down lower, and it made 49 trades. So this one I'd be more interested in. Obviously, once again, this is an optimization, so this is nowhere near a good indication that this is a good strategy. I would then take this Russell strategy and test it with more data. So instead of a year and a half, I would test it in the last 10 years, and I would use walk forward optimization to do that. So once again, I would not, trade any of these strategies live yet. I would still test them and test them with more data, but we do have, some potential good strategies here. So that was the daily bars. Let's move on to the 4-hour bars. So you can see on the right here, we have 240-minute bars. And we did better with gold. It actually made more net profit. The max drawdown kind of went up a little bit as well, but we did get more trades. We got 74 trades, which is pretty solid. That's almost 3 trades a month. So that's pretty good. And FDAX was the next best one. FDAX does have a lot of slippage, so you need to be careful with day trading FDAX, which is the German DAX futures. I've seen a lot of slippage with this instrument, so I'd be careful trading these, especially day trading these. If you're swing trading, that's fine, but I don't recommend day trading, assets or instruments with lots of slippage. It eats you up in real time. So I made 8,300, but the drawdown is pretty close, pretty high. It's not that great, so I want to look at that. 6E is Euro FX futures. Had a lot of trades, didn't make a lot of money, but yeah, drawdown's okay. I would try probably the gold or Euro futures. I'd run a walk forward optimization in the last 10 years at least and see if you see those improve. And lastly, I tried 10-minute bars, and FDAX we did the best at 20,000 in net profit, but yeah, the max drawdown is higher than it. Wouldn't even look at that. YM, which is Dow futures, would be the next. Once again, not that great. Max drawdown of 23,000. This is a tough system to trade. It's a very risky system to trade. Third best would be Russell. Yeah, wouldn't touch any of these on 10-minute. Way too high of a drawdown. Be very hard to trade in real time. You'd be very stressed, and it's not a really safe strategy. With supply and demand, it's tough to make day trading systems because there's a lot of noise in the day, and some improvements we could to make to this strategy is trying different exits instead of normal profit targets and stops. We could look at ATR stops or trail stops. But yeah, there's testing multiple different markets, and you see how fast I tested it through the NinjaTrader platform, which is once again the platform I use to build automated strategies, run them live, and back test them. So yeah, that's a video, supply and demand system. Let me know in the comments below if you're going to use this strategy. And as promised, I was going to tell you at the end of the video how you can get access to the source code of this strategy. So all you have to do is sign up to my newsletter. You just got to put your email in, and I'll email you the free strategy and the source code. So the link will be in the description below. Just put your email in, and you'll get an email for it, and then you can start testing this strategy. And once again, I do recommend testing it for yourself, trying it with different combinations. and different back tests and making sure you run a walk forward optimization with more time period. And if you want, you'll have access to the source code, so you can add trail stops or ATR stops or different entry types. But that's how you're going to access to it. Once again, you just have to click the link in the description below, enter your email, and I'll email it to you. So that's the video, guys. Supply and demand systems. Hope you found value. We'll see you next week. Bye.